I'm Avis Boone, and I'm here with filmmaker Tova Beck-Friedman, whose film Red Father was accepted into the SOHO International Film Festival here in New York. Red Father will screen on Friday, May 16th at 5:30 p.m., and there will be a Q&A after the screening. So Tova, now Red Father, this is the first U.S. film festival for this film. I know you're excited about it, but what other feelings are you having in relation to your screening here?
Well, this is the first time we are taking the finished film to the public. We had a doc in progress screening in Maryland, which was very helpful. But now we are taking it, being tested on the public. I'm also very excited about the venue, which it has history behind it. It used to be the Yiddish the Yiddish art theater. It used to be the Yiddish art theater, and in the beginning of the 20th century. Oh. And that's very exciting.
Oh, well, now, how did you come to find out about Bernard Avis?
I've known Janet, she's a friend, and her story is...
Now, who is Janet?
Janet Avis.
Okay, that's...
Bernard Avis' daughter. And her story is about her growing up in a socialist enclave in the Bronx were fascinating to me. And I wanted to do a film about it, so I started interviewing her, and in the process of interviewing her, we found that the real story lies with her father, Bernard Avis.
Oh, and what inspired you about him that made you write this film?
Well, Bernard Avis was a communist Jewish lawyer that fought for civil rights in the 1930s at home. He later fought against fascism in Spain, only to be thwarted by McCarthyism and the blacklist when he came back at home. And the fascination for me was the fact that he was a one person that really believed in a cause and fought for it and achieved something. We are always told that only one person cannot achieve anything. You know, you have to work in a group. You have to, people have to come together and do something. And here is a person that fought against racism and achieved something meaningful.
And one person.
Yeah.
Well, can you give us a brief synopsis of Red Father?
Red Father is the life story of Bernard Avis, who was born in Maryland at the beginning of the 20th century, and in the 1930s worked as a lawyer for the Communist Party in defending African Americans in capital cases and defending them also against lynching. And his well-known case is the Hewley case in the Lower Eastern Shore of Maryland, where he defended Mr. Lee that was accused of murdering a white family of 4.
And he was also, because I saw the film, and he was I guess, going to be disbarred for in this case, for representing Mr. Lee in this case. And is it true that his disbarment was, didn't happen because he was represented by Thurgood Marshall?
Yeah, that's correct. He fought against the white judicial system in Maryland to change the law in Maryland to include African Americans on the jury. The jury has to be a jury of your peers. The defendant was African American, and therefore he proved that no African American was ever on a jury for the past 25 years. And he was instrumental in changing that law, which upset the white judicial establishment, and they were after him and tried to disbar him. And he was defended then by Thurgood Marshall. That was also the first time that an African American defended a Caucasian in the history of Maryland.
Oh, okay.
And in that case, which is called In Re Avis, was instrumental in changing the segregation law in Brown versus the Board of Education.
Tova, why do you think that Red Father is so relevant today? What aspects of the film are very relevant today?
The film is relevant today because the issues it raises are relevant, especially the civil rights issue, the fact that the Supreme Court recently gutted the Voting Rights Acts and the affirmative action really speaks to the need of continuing work and in the civil rights movement. And the other issue is the surveillance issues, which we are all very much privy to with the leak that Snowden did. Bernard Avis was constantly under surveillance by the FBI, though those techniques seem harmless in today's world, but still the same idea, the idea remains.
You can see and learn more about Red Father and Tova Beck-Friedman at the Village East Cinema, the site of the SOHO International Film Festival, on Friday, May 16th at 5:30 p.m.